Hey everybody, welcome to Dad's Den of Pop Culture. It is Alpha Flight Monday. We have reached issue number 47 from June of 1987, with Heather going up against, well, actually, maybe that's her father, wrapped up by some kind of, I don't know what, some evil tribbles, perhaps. Swamp Thing is in the wrong, universe. We'll find out as we delve in to issue number 47. You can't tell the forest from the trees. Boy, this is some of the smallest lettering, I swear. Bill Mantlo script. So this is kind of an interesting one because we get a few artists on it, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But I literally have to take my glasses off and get really close. Craig Brassfield, Mike Mignola, Steve Purcell, pencils, Whilce Portacio and Terry Austin, inks, Jim Novak, letters, Bob Sharon, colors, Carl Potts, editor, Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. So what we have here, from what I could tell, is a fill-in issue. Okay, and so you would get those. They would usually do a couple standalone issues to have on hand if the regular issues were taking a little bit long to get finished. And I think that's what we have here. It is a Vindicator solo story, essentially, with a lot of different artists working on it. And there are a couple places where, I'm shaking my camera a little bit here, there are a couple different places where you could definitely send Mignola in the figure work. So once upon a time, a seed fell from space, went through the atmosphere, wasn't destroyed, towards Victory Stadium, where the Haysboro Hawks were locked in a ninth-inning tie with the Calgary Chinooks for the division title in the All-Canada Junior League playoffs of 1987. The winning run's been hit right towards Mayhew. Oh, man, I'd hate to be Mayhew in that. So Mayhew sees the ball, but something else hits his glove while the ball hits the ground. And he's like, dude, I did it. He made the catch. Nope, run, Bayberry. He missed it, huh? But if it's not the ball in Tommy's glove, Tommy Mayhew, of course, and it's sort of hissing, Mayhew, what is it? What the blazes is that kid looking at? And the kid sees this sort of, it looks like a plant, erupt from the seed, and it starts crawling up his arm. But everybody's too far away to see actually what's happening to him. And zombie-like, he wanders away. And, friggin' kid, if I was him, I'd slink home with my tail between my legs too. And as he's walking, this growth is covering him, and he's kind of becoming like a tree creature. And he heads into the forest. So Heather has gotten a call from home. They need her for something. Now, this is kind of tough because doesn't have the best relationship with her parents, especially with her father. And she kind of ran off to marry Mac, and they didn't like that. And then they showed up, and they're arguing, and Wolverine's there, and Wolverine pops a claw, Hudson, I've come to take Heather home, only if she wants to go, old man. And that obviously doesn't go well. And so they kind of he's like, look, you freaks are going to get her killed, and I'm leaving, and the hell with you. And so she's been called home. This is going to be kind of weird. And she's also a little worried that they want her home in the first place. And she's kind of saying, Mansion Alpha is my true home now. Alpha Flight is my family, and Box needs our help. But Mr. Jeffries and Puck are as capable of finding him treatment as I am. So I don't know. I still think it's a fill-in issue, because it's somewhat off topic. Although they do reference that there, that might have been changed to help it fit into the continuity a little bit better. Alpha Flight's it's a lot of continuity, especially through this period, where some of the books go into a single, standalone issue wasn't necessarily as difficult or as disruptive. So as Heather's changing, her mother comes out. It's me, Mama. Heather, you called. I came. We always knew Mac's work was dangerous. Then we heard that he'd been injured while on assignment, perhaps even killed. Lord, how frightened for him we were. And now the sight of you in that costume. Is that why you called me home, Mom? Or Mommy? To rehash the same old fears? This was Mac's costume, the one he died in. He called himself Guardian. I call myself Vindicator, for I have much to avenge. And this battlesuit feels more natural to me now than any other sort of clothes. Do you understand at last? When I chose Mac, I chose his way of life, for better or worse. We couldn't understand, daughter. Then we thought that danger was best left to the authorities. We just didn't want to see either Mac or you hurt. And the irony of it is, now that there's danger here in Haysboro, which the authorities can't handle, we show what hypocrites we are by calling on you. Danger? Oh, Heather, it's so horrible. So basically, a bunch of kids have disappeared, and they don't know what's doing it. And so her father is that coach for that team. You know, they thought they were in a safe place, but these kids have disappeared. The Mounties can't find them. And so Heather heads out to look around, and they find these seed pods lying in the road. And they also find the bike of one of the kids, a kid's bicycle. If its headlamp hadn't been on, I doubt we'd have spotted it. It can't have been abandoned too long ago, or the battery would have run down, which means whoever rode it was out alone at night. Haysboro imposed a curfew when the disappearances began, but you know, kids. This is Simone Chinnon's notebook. Her brother Eric is one of the kids I coach. How could her folks have let her out? Like you said, kids, you stay here, Dad, while I scout around. All right, daughter, you're the boss, eh? So he picks up one of these things, and it attacks him. Join us, join us, join. So all these people who have been sort of possessed by these things are heading in to the woods. Now, if you are a big fan of modern Marvel, are you maybe thinking Groot? It's not Groot. It's not Groot. Groot wasn't a thing back then. He wouldn't be a thing for a little while. Now, here's what I'm talking about. That is a Mike Mignola pose, without a doubt. So he definitely did some art there. So she goes into the woods and comes back and finds her father is gone. And one of the things starts to attack her. But she's got like the force fields, and they can't get through them. Reaching out with me like with root-like tendrils. I don't know what kind of tree these things fell off of, but I have a feeling I'm lucky their tendrils sizzled upon contact with my force field. Now let's see what effect my plasma bursts have on them. And they have the effect of destroying them. So that's good. Would they have done to me whatever it was they must already have done to those missing kids and my father? Yeah, probably. And so at home, the Mounties are talking here with Mrs. Chinnon and I believe Heather's mom. And, you know, her daughter's missing. And then they hear Claire, Mommy. Oh, that's him. Oh, I guess that's, Claire is talking to Heather's mom, and the mommy is for Mrs. Chinnon. And so they hear him calling, and she runs out to the backyard and sees the tree creatures that have taken over these people. Dum, dum, dum. And the Mounties pop off some shots, and it doesn't work, and probably for the best because, you know, there's kind of people in those things. And so Vindicator shows up, flashes down, and starts doing what she does. Now, now Mother knows the trees have planted their seeds throughout Haysboro, possessing Dad and the children. Like any species struggling to survive, they'll go on propagating until they're stopped. They must feel their numbers are sufficient now to directly overwhelm the town's population. I have to stop them. but destroying them means destroying family, friends. I can't do it. Well, I mean, she kind of has at this point, but I have to for Mac's greater good. Is she crazy? Those are the kids. Do you have another solution? I may earn Hasbro's undying hatred, but at least I'll stop the spread of these trees across Canada and the rest of the world. I can take comfort in that. Can't I? Heather makes a lot of these kind of choices, and it's, again, I think you could lean into the idea that she's new at this and maybe is too quick to make these choices, maybe doesn't look for that alternative. That was always what they did in Star Trek with Kirk, right? You had the pull between Spock and McCoy, and both of them made good points and had a particular goal they wanted to achieve that they thought was important. And Kirk usually tried to find something that would combine the two. He tried to find the third way. And that's something I think they needed to do with Heather to show more of the learning process as she's going through this. We get tidbits, but maybe not quite enough. So she starts going ham on these guys. Yeah, I can use modern day slang once in a while too. And finds that the children are inside, and she manages to dunk them in water and put out those blazes. She goes, I think I understand at last why the trees needed human hosts. Their alien environment must be radically different from ours, and every world must harbor its own diseases and pollutants. We of Earth have had millions of years to acclimatize ourselves. By planting themselves in indigenous life forms, the trees sought to parasitically acquire our immunities. Interesting. Yeah, it is just, okay, it's a koi pond. Okay, for a minute I was like, wait a minute, did I miss something there? No, I didn't miss anything. So they repeat the process, and she uses her blast to push the water out and put the kids out, and they're saved. And the little boy says, will they be back? Thought Vindicator. I think they came from out there, whether space harbors more of their kind, and whether destiny will guide the pods again to Earth. All I can say is, look to the stars. They're kind of going a little like old sci-fi there. Right, but after we clean up all the pods, I think Hasbro and Earth will be safe. And half buried and unnoticed in the McNeil backyard, an unearthly capsule goes unnoticed, waiting only for time, weather, or the blades of a lawnmower to penetrate its hard outer shell and set the terror free. Dum, dum, dum. And Mad Balls. Okay. So this is really just a filler issue, but it does involve Heather again making very hasty life and death decisions for the greater good, which she's kind of become a little obsessed with. Maybe not for the best. And this will continue to come up. In fact, in about 3 issues, it'll really come up. So there we go. Kind of a standalone issue, a Vindicator issue. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this one. I got one commenter who I know is going to let me know what he thinks of Vindicator, because he's been pretty vocal about it for many weeks now. But let me know what you think. I'm not super happy with the way they've changed the Heather Hudson character. I think there were maybe better ways to do it. It feels a little bit too much, too fast. You would think there would be some of her team members saying, hey, we really are not in the mood to get killed because of the greater good on one of your snap decisions. Maybe you need to slow down a little bit. I think that the process they made at about the same time in the Avengers comic book with Captain Marvel, and that's the Monica Rambeau character, going from sort of a novice superhero to becoming the leader of the Avengers for a while, I think they did a somewhat better job of letting that leadership grow. Now, of course, she did have the example of like Captain America and stuff, to go off of, and Heather hasn't, but I don't know. It's like there's a deeper story there, but they don't go in depth enough on it. to really round it out and make it full. That's kind of the problem I have with it. At any rate, let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed the review, please like, subscribe, share with a friend. Until next time, God bless everybody. Please be kind to one another. Have a little bit of fun out there. And, oh, yeah, we're right around Thanksgiving. Oh, we're past Canadian Thanksgiving. We're close, I think, to American Thanksgiving. Unless we passed it. I don't remember when this one is. I don't remember when I'm putting this one up. I do these in advance. So at any rate, either we're heading to Thanksgiving or we're past it, but have a happy one, or hope you have happy memories of it. Either way, I will see you again soon, I hope, in Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Bye-bye.